Hey everybody, this is your host for Locked On Virginia, Big Law. And on this episode, I got my guy Casey Pazzalia from the Virginia Game Day podcast. We're gonna do a pregame of this Louisville game that's coming up here tonight. Also, we got some baseball news. Let's get into it.
You are Locked On Virginia, your daily podcast on the Virginia Cavaliers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Good day, viewers and listeners. I am your host, Big Law, Lawrence Johnson, and welcome to the Virginia Locked On Cavaliers podcast, your first place to come to get your Wahoo fix every day as part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Our title sponsor today is FanDuel. This episode is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook, official sportsbook of Locked On. Make every moment more. Visit FanDuel.com/Locked On today to get started. And as you can see, I got my partner in crime, Casey Pazzalia, in the house from the Virginia Game Day podcast. How you doing today, brother?
Oh, very good, man. Very good. We got a big win over Duke this weekend, and we're back in action tonight against Louisville on the road.
Okay, yeah, man. So, we're going to talk a little bit about Louisville. Louisville's not having that great of a year, but we're still going to give you what you came here for, which are the stats. Now, talk to me about, for me, this Duke saga, whatever happened, is still going on. People are still upset. You got fans. I don't know if you've seen it on your boards. I had a huge spike, in viewers and listeners. What in the world? Is it that upsetting that I guess they can't let it go?
It's funny, right? Duke has gotten every call for the last 40 years, and one goes against them, and it's like the end of the world. It would have been a huge win for them, for their resume, and I get that, but I think it showed. It's Tony Bennett's world now. If Coach K was on the sideline, I don't know if that happens, but I think we got a little bit of the seniority. I think they realized, kind of panicked a little bit when they realized it probably wasn't a foul, and they were like, "This game deserves to go to overtime," and it went to overtime. But yeah, I think Tony has the seniority now, and it's his conference.
Yeah, I think that it's a as far as the officials, I thought they called the right call. In my
Yeah,
opinion, I thought that it was almost like they implemented like some of the replay laws that are in the NBA, where they go back and they see, was it a real foul?
hmm
They were looking at whether the foul occurred or whatever, but I think they went back and looked at it wasn't even really a foul. It is what they implied. It is what they, changed it to. But the UVA fans were fine with it. Of course, the Duke fans are calling it a foul all day. But when you had an angle on Twitter that showed that it was all ball,
yeah.
the guy blocked the ball. It wasn't a foul,
They'll give you the body after the fact. Like there was some body after the fact, but I feel like once the body contact happened, the clock was already at zero. The game was already over. So I don't know what that ruling is. Like
Mm-hmm.
Filipowski goes up, clean block, clock hits 0.0,
Then they banging each other
and
body wise, and they both
and
bounce
then
off each other.
Ryan Dunn kind of collides into him, but that's after the play, after the game is already over.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, if he were to had gotten continuation on like having to land, then it may have been a like a loose ball foul kind of thing, like because it was after the play. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It felt like I'm not complaining that the game is over when the contact happened, and that's what I'm going with.
Did you, by chance, were you in the stadium by that?
Oh
In the
my
arena?
God, yeah, I was
Was
in
that not?
section
What section were you in?
101.
Okay, was that not an incredible atmosphere as far as what was going on, how hype it was, how loud it was? It hasn't
Yeah.
been that
That
loud
that's
and that hype all year.
So that's what I'm saying. That's how I feel like it played into the decision. Like the refs realized we're gonna get killed if we actually go through with this BS foul. Like we're going back and look at it. It's not a foul, it's all ball. This game deserves
Hmm.
to go to overtime and it's going in overtime. I don't care what the rule says after the fact about, you know, body contact after the clock hits zero. This game's got to go to overtime. We'll deal with the consequences later. This
Yeah,
and we can't put the game in our hands. And that's what I
right.
felt like it would have been if they would have made him shoot free throws. I would have been
I
so
agree.
disappointed, dude, if
Oh
it
man.
was 0.0 on the clock in JPJ and we got a dude from Duke shooting free throws. You know what I mean? Not
Yeah,
even a chance
yeah.
to go back and get a tip in or anything.
It was terrible. It was terrible. The way that feeling was. It was like, wait a minute, are they really gonna call this foul? But good job on the replay official or the replay person on the scoreboard. He kept rerunning and flipping it over and over and over on the
Gotta get in
screen
their heads,
and
man.
keep showing the block. It was all ball. Everybody's like, all ball, all
Getting everybody
ball.
riled up.
Yeah, it was great, man. But that atmosphere, that's what I really love
Yeah,
about it.
it was a who's who of UVA legends in the house, man. We saw Ralph Sampson was in the building, Sean Singletary, Tony Elliott was sitting a couple rows down from where I was. A lot of
Yeah,
people there. Ball Hawk,
that's
a lot
it,
of people in the
man.
house.
Yep, everyone
Nothing gets better
was
than
ready.
You can't get better than Duke UVA. It's like the creme de la creme of UVA sporting event. Duke UVA home basketball game. That's as good as.
Last time I was that it was like that, it was when LeBron was in town,
Oh
and
yeah, that was the
it was
Zion.
Zion in the Zion game. I was down on the court for that game, and that was unbelievable. The atmosphere was that it was on. It was just I don't know if I'd ever been in a bigger basketball game. I had Grant Hill and LeBron and Rondo sitting, a couple, on the other side of the basketball hoop stanchion. They were like on the other side, and I'm on the one side. They were just sitting like maybe 10 feet away from me, and I'm like, well, damn. Grant Hill comes up, walks right in front of me, goes over
Like, damn,
to,
bro.
yeah, somebody's on the bench, somebody else, famous on the bench, and they're just chatting it up. I'm like, that's just pretty damn slick. You know what I mean? But it was just loaded with
Yeah.
all kinds of stars, man. So, but yeah, yeah. But before we go any further, the midway point of the NBA season is here, and now is the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Because new customers get a no sweat first bet up to $1,000. Up to $1,000. That's bonus bets back if your first bet doesn't win. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. It's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Then you can bet on everything from money line to point scores to threes drained. You can also include core markets, spreads, all different types. You got player props, player points, rebounds, assists, etc. As you as so many more exclusive bets like 2 times 3, meaning 2 3-pointers scored in the first 3 minutes. That's another type of a bet that's out there as well. Plus, FanDuel even lets you combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payout with the same game parlay. Don't miss a chance to get your no sweat first bet up to $1,000 in bonus bets when you go fanduel.com/locked on. That's fanduel.com/locked on to learn more. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. So, my guy Casey, let's talk about what's going on with this game tonight. Of course, we have
Yeah.
Louisville coming to town, or we're going to Louisville.
Yeah.
And Louisville, of course, there's poor guys. There's not really much to say about their season, except that it's really dismal right now. They're 3-22 overall and 1-13 in the ACC. Have you
In the
seen
Ken
any of their
Pom
games?
era,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's been a team as bad in the ACC as Louisville in the Ken Pom era. I mean, they are
Wow.
ranked. They're ranked number 295 right now
Wow.
out of 360 teams. I don't think I've ever seen a team ranked that low
Mm.
in my time. And you look back at like even when there was a Pittsburgh team that went 0 for 18 in ACC play, and
Mm-hmm.
even they weren't ranked 295. They were ranked like 220 something. So this is a historically bad team. They don't do a lot well. They don't really do anything well. Um, their best player is L. Ellis, and he only shoots like 31% from three, and just they don't really have a go-to guy. So, we're favored by 17 and a half points on the road tonight, which is that's a lot of points to be
That's
favored in the
sick.
ACC on the road.
Yeah, that's a sick number. You usually don't see that in any ACC game, home or away. 17,
Yeah,
a
no.
17-point, spread. So, um, you know, like you said, L. Ellis is
Hmm.
their leading scorer, averaging 17 points, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists. As far as the guard goes, they have a Jay Weathers, who averages 9 points, 5 rebounds, and a little bit less than 1 assist. And then they got a Michael James at 9 points, 3 rebounds, and 1.1 assists. Just a team that just needs a lot of help. I don't
Yeah.
know. In my era, you talk about your era of being bad. During for the Kim Palm era. My watching Louisville, I don't know if I've ever seen a Louisville team this bad. Period. You
Yeah.
know, and
No,
I've
no.
been watching
I'm
since
sure it
Never
haven't been.
Nervous Purvis Ellison. Never Nervous Purvis. I've been watching since a little bit before then. So it's a
I mean,
they got to be what is it, the KMC Yum Bucket
yeah,
Arena
KFC
or
Yum Center.
you know yeah, they get, I guess they just come for the chicken nowadays.
They didn't get a win. They went the entire month of November with all losses. So you know how
Mm.
UVA schedules and how most power teams schedule. You
Mm-hmm.
get your easy games in the beginning of the year. You get your
Right.
Albanese and your, you know, uh, NC Centrals and your Monmouths. You beat them by 40.
Right.
Louisville was losing those games.
Mm.
They started off the season by losing to Bellarmine, Wright State, Appalachian
Wow.
State.
Mm.
They lost their first 9 games. So,
Wow.
they had a lot going on with this program. It's unfortunate. Chris Mack was there for a few years. He got hired uh, in 2019, I believe, and he brought them to the Big Dance's first year. Didn't have a great seed. Had the COVID year not happened, they would have made the tournament that year, and that would have made it a little bit easier for them to survive. Made it a little easier for him to survive the rough times he was going through. But when they look back at it, one tournament appearance in 4 years, it was kind of easy to part ways. If they didn't have that COVID cutoff and they had, hey, we just had gotten a number 3 or 4 seed in the tournament, you can give them a longer leash. But they parted ways with Chris Mack, who was at Xavier for a long time, and hired Kenny Payne, who used to play at Louisville. So he's coming in now, and he didn't make any excuses when he first took the job. He told everyone, "This is a big rebuild. Don't expect anything early." So
Right.
he kind of prepped everyone for this kind of rough season. I don't think they would have thought it would be this rough, but it's not kind of out of nowhere. Kenny Payne knows what he's up against. He knows that He's got to build it from the ground up.
Yeah, well, building it from the ground up, I didn't think that it would come from underground. It's coming from underground up. I think that he's that they definitely have have a lot to look at here. I know whenever I see Virginia going in on this squad, or a squad like this, I'm looking for a lot of the backups to get some time. And I mean,
Yeah,
they're the number 7 team in the nation right now and rising with a bullet. They're chasing Pitt. Honestly,
yeah,
because Pitt actually has the tiebreaker against them because they beat them in the head-to-head.
yeah.
I think UVA has a better opportunity to run the table than Pitt does because Pitt has a Miami. They have. Oh man, I just lost it a little early there. I thought I had it saved, but Pitt has a couple. I think 2 or
They
3.
got Syracuse and Virginia Tech still left too, so those are
Yeah,
some tougher
Syracuse,
games.
Virginia Tech, and Miami. So
Yeah,
yeah, there's a great opportunities. And while Virginia, we're still looking at uh, Notre Dame. After you got Louisville, Notre Dame, BC, UNC, Clemson, and back to Louisville. So
yeah. I told you
you
about
know,
Clemson, man. I told you they were frauds.
yeah, you did you pulled their fraud card. Yeah, and they're definitely are frauds.
And
Now they still got a chance to jump back up there, but you know,
yeah, they do.
no,
We play them at our place, so that'll be a good game, good battle.
I think so. I think it'll be an opportunity also for Virginia to finally put the dagger in them. As
Yeah,
far as
and
kicking them down.
with this Louisville game, don't forget every team when you're the only locked in NCAA tournament team in the conference, and you're ranked number 6 or 7 wherever we are, you get the target on the back. So I don't think Louisville's going to lay down and get rolled right from Jump Street. I can see this being a close game for a little while, and then Virginia pulling away at the end like they kind of tend to. They wear you down
Hmm.
like they like a football team that runs the ball. They kind of wear you down, and then
That's
you're
right.
just so
Make you play
wore out
defense
from.
for the whole shot clock.
Yeah, we're gonna make you play 30 seconds of defense, and then we're gonna make you play 30 seconds of offense, and you're gonna
Hmm.
be tired.
Hmm.
And I don't think Louisville, the fan base is probably, I don't think it's gonna be a crazy atmosphere or anything. So
Hmm.
uh, we'll see. Like we said, Virginia's a big favorite, but I expect it to be close for a little bit.
Absolutely, man. I mean, points per game. I can give you those really quick. Some of these stats. UVA's averaging 70 points. Louisville's averaging 64 points a game. Points against, you're looking at UVA only giving up 60, Louisville giving up 76 points a game, 12. That's a negative 12. Oof, that's tough. Field goal percentage, UVA shooting almost 51% at 50.9. Louisville shooting 46.5%, which isn't too bad, but they just don't get enough opportunities. And 3-point percentage, UVA shooting 37.7%, and Louisville shooting 33.5%. So they're, you know, I think turnovers, ball distribution. I think there's only really one player that's really tough, and that's the L. Ellis,
Hmm.
the guard there. But there's really nowhere else for them to go. And after that, after
Yeah,
L. Ellis can score.
they're one of the worst teams in the country at turning the ball over. And Virginia, as we know, sending doubles at the post, intercepting passes out of the post. They force a ton of turnovers. We got two dynamic guards who can play perimeter defense like no one else. So that's a good recipe for us. Them being a team that's prone to a lot of turnovers, and Virginia being a team that forces a lot of turnovers.
That's right. That's right, man. And then of course, turnover to assist ratio. UVA is the best in the nation at that. So that's what you look for when you're talking about championship caliber. I mean, watching that game on last Saturday, how do you feel about this team? I mean, do you get the warm and fuzzies, the Warman championship fuzzies, or just, you know what I mean, or is it just kind of like, all right, let's just kind of see where we go? Because I'm starting to
I think,
really turn the corner to the championship fuzzies because they won a totally different way that we hadn't seen
yeah,
them win this year.
yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it was like you could kind of tell that Duke was the better shooting team, but Virginia just played such tough defense all game long that it was like, you can see who the better, dare I say, coach team was. It was like Duke is probably better athletes across the board. They have more
Mm-hmm.
4 stars than 5 stars, but you can tell they're a little bit young, a little bit undisciplined, and Virginia is just the savvy veteran group who is coached well and who gives it 110%.
That's right. That's right, man. That's right. So, right now, I mean, let's do a prediction. Let's kind of figure out
Okay.
what's going to be the prediction of this game.
I'm gonna say 73-54
73-54.
Virginia.
Okay. That is a pretty good prediction. My prediction was 75-59.
Okay.
So, yeah, so we're definitely on the same track with that. So, yeah, let's take a look at it. So, make sure you guys get where you got to get to 7 p.m. to check out this game. Now, let's talk about some baseball, man. You and I are going to be doing a little bit of a partnership, with the baseball program and with UVA. Of course, it looks like they have an Omaha worthy squad again. I know that pitching is a
Hmm.
little bit of a concern, but let's do a quick baseball preview. We got a couple minutes here. Talk to me about the baseball program and what's your next endeavor as far as what game you're going to go to that we're going to set up for.
So I don't know if pitching is going to be the concern. Pitching is the question mark right now, right? We don't have
Mm-hmm.
a ton of proven guys at Virginia. We have guys who have done it in high school. We have guys who have done it at Coastal Carolina, guys who have done it at Army. We just need to see what they're going to do in the blue and orange.
Mm-hmm.
So I think our offensive side and defense is more proven because we've seen it in Virginia uniforms in the ACC at the dish. We've seen those sides. We haven't seen a lot of these pitchers when it
Mm-hmm.
comes down to it. Jake Berry being the only starter who's back with the squad, and Jay Wolfolk out of the bullpen being the big closer. So those are the two pitchers that are back. The rest it's going to be a mix of guys who have to step up, and guys who
Mm-hmm.
have come in via transfer, and guys who have come in as first years. So it's going to be a great season. Ranked to start the year. We got a ton of good transfers in, both from the pitching staff and in the field. But the one big thing that's happening right now is we don't have to wait as long as we thought to get ourselves a baseball game at the dish. The first game of the season, which was supposed to be February 17th at Wilmington,
Mm-hmm.
is now moved to Charlottesville. So this Friday at 2 p.m., there will be a baseball game at the dish. It's like opening day. It's not. It's kind of an unexpected, a surprise opening day. But
Mm-hmm.
opening day, 2 p.m. Virginia hosts Navy. Free admission for everyone because it was kind of unexpected. And yeah, if so, they're supposed to play a 3-game tournament in Wilmington. So the first
Mm-hmm.
game is going to be in Charlottesville now, and the other games they're still going to be playing in Wilmington. But the first game is the only one that's kind of got switched up. So, um, and then after that, it'll be back to the regular schedule with our home opener being February 21st, next Tuesday against Longwood at 3 o'clock.
All right, all right. And my guy Casey will be on the scene, and we'll keep you guys up to date on this baseball program and see how far we can go with it, man. See how far we
Yeah,
can go.
no,
Hopefully, look, they win a little bit more, and maybe we can go on the road some meet at some of these
Yeah,
schools, and then, let's say they start going, into the tournament, start going further. Maybe we can travel, to some of these
right.
championship destinations. So that's what our focus is, coming into
Always wanted to go to
summertime.
Omaha.
Oh my gosh, that'd be amazing. That'd be amazing. Anything you want to say in closing, Casey?
No, we just gotta, you don't want to underestimate Louisville, right? You want to go
Mm-hmm.
in, take care of business. I think, if Virginia's not a team you have to worry about in that regard. They respect their opponents. Tony does a
Mm-hmm.
good job of focusing on process instead of result. So I feel like they know that Louisville's Louisville. Everyone's dangerous. Doesn't matter who you are. So I think they're gonna go get them, and I hope we come back with our 20th win. This will be our 20th win if we beat Louisville, and it'll also make Kihei Clark, if they win tonight, it'll make Kihei Clark the winningest player in ACC history.
Amazing, absolutely amazing,
Yep,
man. That would
needs one
that'll be
win.
awesome. So this is 20th win. That means we have 5 games left. Can we get to 25 wins? I'm thinking to get the number 1 seed, we got to get to 27, 28 kind of wins to be considered a number 1 seed.
Well, yeah, if we run the table in the ACC tournament,
Well,
we'll
that'll
get it.
give us
So,
28 wins, 29, 28,
yeah,
28 wins. What was it?
you
Three.
know
We got to
that
win three
that one
games.
that one big win on the schedule here is that at away game at North Carolina. That's
Mm-hmm.
our only real chance remaining to get another quad one win on our schedule. So that'll be the big one.
Absolutely, man. Looking forward to it, brother. But thank you for coming on, Casey. And what we'll do here is, like I said, keep everybody informed. Make sure you get to a TV with your beverage of choice. And we want to thank you for making Locked On Virginia your first listen every day. Make sure you check out our brand new podcast, Locked On College Basketball. Everything you need to know about college basketball in one place. Plus, hear from big name experts, insiders, and coaches and players. Locked On College Basketball, available on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Casey. Wahoo wah.
Of
And
course.
let's get this win, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, guys.
Go Who's.